moms around the world are part of the Global Moms Relay, something that we're celebrating today. And we're celebrating it today here, and we thank our hosts at the Renaissance and at their beautiful R Lounge for opening up this opportunity for us. We thank, of course, our partners, and we're going to have a chance to talk about each of them today. Those who, like at the United Nations Foundation, believe that we live in a time when everyone has a role and everyone has a chance to make a difference.
Becoming a mother has completely changed my life in so many ways, and I can tell you, when you hold your baby for the first time, you'll never be the same, and I'm sure it's the same with dads. But there's nothing more important than the health and happiness of your child. I mean, that's really what changes in you, is that you think my whole life is now dedicated to the health and happiness of this other being that's so beautiful, and that's why the Global Moms Relay is so important.
And growing up with my mum and my grandmother and my aunt in the house, I got to see the power of these women, not so much in what they had to say and what they told me to do, but in their actions, in the way they led their lives and how kind they were. In those amazing times when we'd sit around the kitchen, we'd all cook together. And I'm one of 6 kids, so you can just imagine the household with everyone in the room, grandma chopping up and looking at us and telling us what to do. And it was those moments where you realize what it meant to be a part of a family, but also what it meant to be a man. I think we all need to girl up. And of course, we all need to man up for every woman and for every child.
And I know I speak for all of our employees worldwide, very humbled to be part of this, and really in awe of the generosity of the stories shared of the moms and other contributors who have educated us and moved us and certainly inspired us. And each of those stories has inspired almost 200,000 shares, which translates into very valuable donations to do good for moms around the world and kids around the world.
We have a very simple philosophy at Toshiba, and it's really improving the quality of life for everyone. That's our corporate mission. And I know I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my mother. She was a single mother, plus an immigrant, who came to New York City more than 40 years ago to raise 2 sons. And so what I've learned from my own mother, my wife and I are instilling that on our own 3 young children.
Being asked to talk about a mom who has kind of passed the proverbial baton and affected change in their own right, I think I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my own mom, she and my dad adopted me from South Korea, and I was left on a doorstep of an orphanage, so I'm constantly asked the question, don't you want to find your real mom, or are you able to find your real mom? And so I just, it's a personal question, but I don't recoil at it. I look at it as an opportunity to talk about all of the reasons why my mom is my real mom. And it's, a great chance to talk about the beautiful mural she painted for me when I was young, or the lessons she instilled in me. And so I think that it's just that my story and many others are an example of how motherhood is defined in very individual ways.
We've got 32 contributors throughout the course of the relay. These are voices from around the world. Voices that you will know, like Nigel's, like Her Majesty Queen Rania of Jordan, but also voices you might not have heard of, like Nima Namadamu, who's a polio survivor and a women's advocate and activist in the Democratic Republic of Congo. One of the most powerful stories I think we've had yet in the relay, but each one of them extraordinary and sharing perspectives and experiences on what motherhood means to them, either as mothers themselves, reflecting on being a son or a daughter, and sharing what it means to actively care about each other as human beings.
We all know that moms have the power to change the world, whether in New York, Nairobi, or Nanjing. A mom can make the difference for a child, a community, a nation, and a generation. You are one of those moms, or you know one of these moms, and right now you have the chance to help moms everywhere change the world for good.